He got his share of playing time, but we think it's important that he goes and plays every day and continues in his development. And Cervi's back, who's played well for us as well.
Do you expect Cervelli to play a little bit of first base as well?
I could, yeah. I had him do some work at first base while he was down there in rehab. If I decide to use him there, yes.
Would you use him ahead of Johnson? Or
It just depends on the matchup, Meredith.
Tanaka has pitched very well for you all season long. Would you look at this as another test facing a team for the second time with the type of lineup that the Blue Jays have?
Yeah, well, I won't make too much of it. Whether it goes one way or another, I think he's passed a lot of tests, and people are probably always going to come up with some during the course of his first year, whether it's the month of August and it's the first time he's went this long on a 5-day schedule. But, it's an interesting matchup because they're a very dangerous club. They've seen him once. They have an idea what he likes to do. But his ability to make adjustments, I think, has served him very well. And I think if he needs to make some tonight, he'll make them.
Keeping it with the rotation, CC Sabathia just told me that he threw a bullpen yesterday.
Yes.
How encouraged are you by that news, and is there any new time frame with him?
We don't really have a time frame yet. He'll throw another bullpen tomorrow. And then we'll just continue to increase the amount of pitches and the pitches that he throws. He threw fastball changeup the first day. I think he's going to mix in some other pitches tomorrow. He'll mix in his slider as well. And then, you just kind of go day by day for me with him. And if he gets through tomorrow, then he'll probably throw another bullpen, and we'll increase the number there. And then if he gets through that, eventually you start to see hitters and BP, and then you get the game. So it's really just taking it a step at a time.
Sweeney.
Joe, that sounds like a 7-week spring training schedule. I mean, that you do in February. Is that similar to?
Yeah, well, I think it's fair that if everything's on track, it's going to be fairly similar. I mean, he's been out for a little bit, and as we've said, when you're a starter and you have not thrown a lot, we have to somewhat rebuild you up. So it's it's fairly similar.
Barry, Dan.
Joe, what are your remembrances of Tony Gwynn, and go back to the 1998 World Series and those games you guys played against them at the old stadium out in San Diego?
When I think of Tony Gwynn, I think of it from a catcher's perspective, how difficult he was to get out. You look at, they have zones where guys hit the ball and breaking pitches they hit, and there were no cold zones. I mean, the joke used to be, throw it right down the middle because it's the only pitch he doesn't know what to do with. Because if you threw it outside, he hit it to the left. You threw it inside, he hit it to right, and he just sprayed the ball all over the place. He ran the bases extremely well. He played a great right field, but he was a gentleman too. He always had a smile on his face when he played the game, and a real student of the game. And he was a guy that I think everyone tried to learn from, in a sense, because he was such a great player. And you wanted to know his ideas and his thoughts on hitting and how to play the game. And it's sad that we lost him, because I think he had a lot to offer, whether it was to college kids or players that, were in professional baseball. He had a lot to offer. Just a dangerous hitter and a guy that really knew how to manipulate the bat. So you worried about the short right field porch and what he could do.
Joe, when you say if CC comes out of the next 2 days, okay, is that just all about the knee, how that holds up?
Yeah. I mean, it's just basically, is it irritated? So far so good. I mean, he came out good from yesterday, and you would expect him to continue to progress, but we got to see.
Joe, in the back.
Joe, given the team's incredible success rate when Tanaka's pitching versus when everyone else has been pitching, and especially while you're battling these injuries with Sabathia, I mean, how dependent are you on Tanaka every fifth day to try to give you that W?
Well, I mean, he's extremely important to our rotation, but we haven't put any more pressure on him than we would anyone else. But obviously, the success that he has had is, been a big part of the reason that we're over 500 for sure. But we don't try to put any more importance on his starts than anyone else's starts. But he's a guy that's been really, really good and has given us distance and has given us an opportunity to win every time he takes the ball.
To your right, Dave.
Joe, you're facing Burley tomorrow. Can you tell me from where you sit what you might attribute his extraordinary durability to? And also, is what he does year after year kind of remarkable in the wake of how pitchers are dropping like flies?
Oh, I think it is. I think it is remarkable what he does year after year and how he takes the ball every fifth day and how he's a consistent winner that changes speed and it's cutting, it's sinking. He's throwing change-ups, he's throwing curveballs, he's throwing sliders. He really pitches, and he works extremely fast and probably doesn't give the hitters a lot of time to think about what he's trying to do to them. Fields his position extremely well, has a great pickoff. So if you get on first, you better be careful, or he might get you. So he's been an incredible pitcher for a long time, and he's obviously been very important to their staff and what he's been able to do.
Meredith, Brian.
Joe, you guys are 5 games above 500 on the road, 3 games under here at home. Any rhyme or reason as to why you haven't played all that well here at home?
You could look at this ballpark. There's going to be more runs scored, and we have not hit the ball out of the ballpark a whole lot, and that probably has something to do with it.
Brian.
With Whitley, why do you think he's been successful at this early juncture, and how important has he been with the rotation injuries?
He's been extremely important. I think he's been successful because of his ability to mix pitches and the location that he's had on all of his pitches, and not getting behind, being aggressive, not throwing a lot of pitches per inning has helped him bounce back. Because you got to remember, this is a guy that's really never thrown maybe more than 95 innings in a season because he's been a reliever most of the time. But he's kept his pitch count down and has been aggressive and uses his stuff well.
Danny.
Joe, I guess Brian mentioned yesterday to some people again that the one guy that he saw if you had to make a change in the rotation at some point was Warren. You've said different times during the year, but I imagine it's the same, that your feelings of the need for Warren in the bullpen right now.
Well, I mean, there's conversations that we have all the time to try to improve our club, and we'll continue to look at things. Warren's been a vital part of our bullpen, and he really stepped up when Sean Kelly went down. Him and Betanzas really stepped up when Sean Kelly went down, and he's a guy that can give you multiple innings down there. He's been really important. But as I said, we'll continue to evaluate our staff and decide what we're going to do.
Dan.
How long would it take Warren to build up enough pitches to be considered for starting?
Well, if you look at it today, if you have a long inning, it doesn't give you a lot. So, I mean, that's about all that he could give you right now.
So you would have to then send him down to build him up to 90 pitches?
No, you wouldn't necessarily have to do that, but if you were to start him here, you can't expect him to give you a lot of distance right now.
Anyone else? Meredith?
Anything new with Pineda?
He's supposed to play catch Saturday. I went and got that just for you.